Hey, there we go. Welcome, everybody. Before we begin, Deputy Mayor, if you would do us the pleasure of reading the land acknowledgement, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We respectfully acknowledge the City of Cornerbrook as the ancestral homeland of different populations of Indigenous people. We also acknowledge with respect the rich histories and culture of the Beothuk, Mi'kmaq, Innu, and Inuit of the province of Newfoundland and Labrador.
Thank you very much. Before we get to the agenda, I want to take a moment. We had a death in the city family this weekend. Harold Thompson, who was a relief worker up at the Civic Center for about 10 years now, passed away. So if we could, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge that and take a moment of silence. Thank you very much. Before we approve the agenda, there is one addition. You should have a copy of this on your desks. We do have to do a approval of some funding from ACOA for that community market feasibility study. So I'll add that in business arising, if we can. With that, would someone like to move the approval? Yes.
Yeah, could I add to the agenda an update on McLeod's Lane, please?
Oh, yep. Can do. We'll put that, we can do that in the rising too. I think we have to, because we're related to the paving program. Okay. Okay, with that, would someone like to approve the agenda?
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Seconder?
I'll second, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Counterminded? Carried. Approval of minutes. So we have some minutes from September 23rd. Would someone like to move the minutes, please?
So moved.
Thank you. Seconder? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Counterminded? Carried. So first, I guess, McLeod's. Mr. Burden, do we have an update there?
We do, Mr. Mayor. So talking to the contractor last week, we have been given, I guess, like an official word now that October 15th will be the start of our patching program, phase 2, I guess, for the fall. And McLeod's Lane is very high on that list to get done. I guess I should also note 107 East Valley Road is also, we think it's the longest outstanding cut we have right now, so that'll be done first, or a very much high priority, and then McLeod's Lane will be done. So we're hoping by the end of October to have all water and sewer cuts and McLeod's Lane finished.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Any other items? Yes, go ahead, Deputy.
I have a few, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah?
The fountain was turned off on our golf course, the Blomidon Golf Course, during last week, probably the week before. And I just wondered if we get an update for the public on why that was closed or turned off.
The what?
The fountain on the golf course, the water fountain on the golf course.
The water on the golf course.
On Blomidon Golf Course, there's a fountain in the middle of the golf course.
Yep.
There's water comes up and down, up and down.
Okay.
It was shut off last week, so I just wondering if the public could be told why that was done.
Do we know?
Oh,
Yeah?
yes.
I actually do know.
Okay, go ahead, Donnie.
I'm not blindsiding him, Mr.
No,
Mayor.
I wouldn't imagine it would be part of our,
Last Thursday evening, we actually shut the water treatment plant down for almost 5 hours to do the main valve into the plant, which controls flow into the plant, needed to be replacing. So the only way we can do that was to basically shut the plant down. And, to shut the plant down with the limited reserves of water we have, we had to source out any excess water being used. So the mill actually switched over to partial Glenlyn pond water. And we also were advised of, I guess the golf course has a fountain that is using quite a bit of potable water. So we were in touch with them and had that shut down as well. And we had the flows, I think, down to somewhere around 14 million liters down from what we're typically running 21, 22. So that allowed us to do that repair. In the meantime, we have not started the fountain back up, as far as I know, at the golf course. And our plan is to work with the golf course over the winter to come up with a solution to somehow like recycle the water or some kind of recirc system, because our splash pad is a recirc system. It's quite effective. But right now the golf course is using, the best we can tell, a lot of water just circulating through a fountain.
That's correct. No, I'm serious. I can't
It's shocking,
believe,
Mr. Mayor.
I
will
can't
say that.
believe that that is happening.
For all
Wow.
these years.
Yeah, that can't go on until we get a solution for that.
No, we, we've, Superintendent of Water and Sewer and I have talked about it and said, it's not sustainable to have that much water being treated and used for literally no reason. So we will be trying to work with them for a solution.
Okay.
Can I open it?
Yeah, no joke.
Mr. Mayor?
Anything else there? Yes.
No, I'm just wondering if you shut off the fountain, do you shut off the water to the club?
No.
No.
Separate? Okay, thank you.
Yes.
I guess, I don't know if anybody else is after getting, and this was also in our CAL meeting, there was a report on this coming from Protective Services, that we're getting a few calls on rodents. So I spoke with the director today to find out what avenue or what channel do we take if you find rodents on your property. And he gave me the advice that you call 637-1666 again. But I wondered if we could find out from Director Flynn the right way to call in and what to report and where to report it from if we find rodents on our property. And there are a lot of properties reporting them here lately.
Now, Mr. Pelini, other than calling the number, what would you suggest?
Well, Mr. Mayor, yes, if people are seeing rodents around their properties or whatnot, they are to call 637-1666 and report it. We, as you know, we can't treat private property, but we can certainly treat city property in the areas that we see infestation. We will send our MEOs out initially to do an inspection, and then from there we'd call a service provider to go and service the area.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Yeah, go ahead, fill your boots.
I read my package, Mr. Mayor. This is what
Read your
happened.
package. What are they, there's rats in the package? I didn't see rats in the package. Sorry.
Update on our rec center. Anything new since we last met? Getting a couple of calls now on when can we start swimming?
I don't think other than, I guess what we talked about last meeting, I mean, there's still ongoing. I think that's a little more than the business arising from the minutes, I think. There's quite a bit, as you can see, repairs and things to be done before the city takes possession of the building. And we're going to make sure we get it right before we take the keys.
Oh, yes, and I totally understand that, but have we made any movement in the last couple of weeks? Like, are we now looking at another date, or are we still aiming for sometime in the new year?
Well, we don't have any new dates, I don't think.
Okay.
Do we, Mr. Charters?
No.
Mr. Burden, or, all you guys, you're all responsible for the rec center, so, yeah. Okay, no, so it is an unknown. As I think I mentioned, I don't know if there was I don't know if it was in the broadcast, I was interviewed on this on Friday as well in the media. And I was asked this as well. I wouldn't want to give anyone a false idea of exactly when. There is work that the contractor has to get done before we're willing to sign off on this. And so that's where we are at this stage. We want to get it right. Pools are no joke. When it comes to, we've seen other pools in the province, out east especially, where they've brought these things and commissioned them, and then shortly after have to bring them down to fix things. We don't want to be in that situation. This is a project we're going to have for 50 years, and we want to make sure it's right. And so we're very impatient, and as you know, we've all been working very hard to get this thing up and running and get it going, but we are going to do this right. And that's, I think, our commitment of the city to make sure it's right.
Just one more statement on that. I was also asked if there was such a thing as a partial opening, like could we open up the daycare, could we open up the gym, could we open up that part with the other side, I guess, with the pool being open? And I didn't have an answer, but I didn't think we could due to insurances and.
Some of that has to do with the nature of our contract and the substantial completion for the building itself. But we are exploring all avenues to make use of this building as quickly as we can, for sure.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Was there something else? Yes?
I just actually want to comment on two items, 2489 from last meeting, Mr. Mayor. I noted that the Old Humber Road retaining wall last time we reported was about 50% complete. And going by there, it looks like it's now pretty well 100% complete. So it seems that that project has been completed. And I just wanted to as well mention the Great Trail Phase 2. I had a chance to ride actually on the paved length of a road from, I guess the Port Red Station Road is done, which was really impressive to see that. It was gravel last week and it's paved, and the crews are still working on, past the train station, a little further up that area, up to, I'd say, the old cement plant, and then further up. So I must say, a lot of work done in a very short period of time, and it looks really nice, and it's nice to see people out using the
Yeah.
So kudos to whoever's overseeing that, but it looks nice, and it's a great addition to the city.
13 kilometers, roughly,
Makes it-
from one end to the other, I think,
Is it from Mount Moriah to?
from McLeod's over, yeah. That's that was what my map skills sort of calculated. But it might be a complete lie. It might just be 1 kilometer.
Well,
I'm not very good with GIS.
however many kilometers it is, Mr. Mayor, it's a wonderful trail to go, and it's almost flat.
It's almost
one end
flat.
to the other.
You're absolutely
Great
right.
addition to the city.
It's a miracle in Corner Brook. Yeah. Anything else there?
Just,
Yes.
funny, the conversation, just something came up. On the trail, we have markings that we're going to put some kind, I guess, awareness to different things. Are we any closer to, having these, whatever it is, the signs put on? Like, do we have the signs ordered, or, there's the markers that are on the trail, there's something going to go there?
As I understand, I think we're getting help from the museum on this. Maybe Mr. Charters, you would know about this, or Mr. Burden?
As far as I know, that is going to be a ask for council in the capital work for 2025.
I think we've already funded, though, the first section, right? For the part from, the part going west from the mill,
Oh, okay.
that part of the Great Trail?
That's correct. As I understand it, the signs have been made. It's just a matter of getting them put up now
Right.
on
Okay.
that end. But
Yeah.
Mr. Burden is correct. We'll do more signage and another
Yep.
ask in the other direction, phase 2.
Nope,
Yes.
perfect, thank you.
Good, okay. So as I mentioned, we need to add as well an item here. So you have in front of you an item. So last meeting it was mentioned that we're doing a feasibility study for a community market. And the funding for that came from ACOA. So we need to pass a motion to accept that funding. So would someone maybe,
Yeah, sure.
Councilor
Just
River,
read
would
it out.
you read it out for us?
Sure, no problem. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The City of Corner Brook applied for funding through the Atlantic Canada Opportunities Agency, ACOA, to conduct a feasibility study for a community market within the city. This project will engage local stakeholders, businesses, farmers, and event organizers to understand the needs of the community surrounding a community market. In addition, the feasibility study will look at high-level cost and operating models. Be it resolved that the Council of the City of Corner Brook accept the funding provided by ACOA for the community market feasibility study in the amount of $19,500, HST included. The Corner Brook City Council authorizes the city manager to sign the offer of assistance under the Regional Innovation Ecosystem Fund through ACOA. I so move.
Thank you. Seconder on that?
Second, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Questions on that? Again, as a formality to accept that funding, I believe. So let's vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Counterminded? Carried.
Mr. Mayor,
yes.
just a question. We have another document on our desk here for Fire Prevention Week. Was this?
Yes, so that's, so I'll mention that now. The reports from our proclamations and events. So on October 4th, or 1 to 4, we declared it Cadet Week, and we had some cadets down. And Canada's youth have been well served by our Canadian cadet organization since 1879. They give youth the opportunities to develop citizenship, leadership, and healthy lifestyle. So we marked that. As well, we already marked October as Foster Families Month. And foster families provide a safe and nurturing environment for children and youth in their homes. They are celebrated as valuable members of their communities for their contribution to the well-being of our province. And as Councilor just mentioned, it is Fire Prevention Week. And so this year, the theme is, or the motto, is smoke alarms, make them work for you. And our fire department and Smokey, the Sparky's forest fires. And I hear it's Sparky's like mortal enemy. Hates it, barks every time that he's around. Sparky was down, and we took some pictures with Sparky. But Sparky's also been out to the schools, including kindergarten to grade 3 schools, C.C. Lachlan, East Side, J.J. Curling, and Sacred Heart and Immaculate Heart. And of course, it's an important week to practice safety. And again, smoke alarms is a great theme. They can save a life. So making sure that they're placed right, that you haven't taken the batteries out because you've burned everything on the stove 1,500 times. But they're very important. So I know recently in my household, we did take extra time to replace some of our smoke alarms. And now you get fancy ones that when you plug them in, they got a lithium-ion battery. You don't even need to replace the batteries anymore. They recharge. So if you're forgetful, really great option. And they don't cost that much more. So again, there'll be a lot of posts and things going, a lot of awareness. So partake in some of those events. Yes.
No, I just want to comment too. Yeah, it seems like every time we talk smoke detectors, we talk batteries, and people check their smoke detector by pushing the button and checking. But I'd just like to remind our residents that all you're doing there is checking the battery. You're not checking the smoke detector. The only way you can really check the detector is to put smoke to it. So light a candle, blow it out, right? So even though you press the button and it works, doesn't mean that your detector is working. Every now and then you should take it off and get your vacuum and clean it out. Because there are vents there that the smoke gets in. And if you ever have a ray of sunlight come into your home, you can see what's floating around, right? So it clogs these holes, right?
Right.
So it's a good idea to clean them out and checking your batteries, not checking your detector.
Good tip. Thank you very much.
Or, Mr. Mayor, like
Yes.
I did tonight, cook supper.
One of my new smoke detectors,
Exactly.
every time I put something in a frying pan, that thing goes off. So then I remember, I should press the button to stop from beeping and close the door to the bedroom while I'm cooking.
Yes.
Okay, next we have, oops, let me get these. This is a good one. Confederation Drive lane reduction and improvements. Councillor Pender, tell us about this exciting project.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We're going to put Confederation Drive on a road diet, I'm told. We're going to narrow it down a little bit. This request for decision is intended to address the selection of a private consultant Related to the Confederation Drive lane reduction and intersection improvements, the project consists of geometric modifications to Confederation Drive from the intersection of West Valley Road roundabout to approximately 50 meters beyond the intersection of the Cornerbrook Plaza entrance, so going east, I guess, incorporating the intersection of Maple Valley Road and the installation of a storm sewer system to collect street runoff. The City of Cornerbrook requested proposals to select the prime consultant for this project. So be resolved that the City of Cornerbrook, or the Council of the City of Cornerbrook, accept the proposal submitted by Englobe Corp. For the Confederation Drive lane reduction and intersection improvements in the amount of $68,916.41, HST included. The Cornerbrook City Council authorizes the city manager to sign the PCA agreement with the consultant Englobe Corp. On behalf of the City of Cornerbrook. I so move.
Thank you very much. Seconder on that?
Second.
Thank you. Questions on this one? So this is a project that we announced in last year's budget, because we know that's a very, I guess, an accident-ridden intersection. So it's good to see some movement on getting this figured out. And I know that with McDonald's undergoing a big reno there, they're anticipating a lot more traffic, for sure.
It's a very wide road as well, Mr. Mayor.
It is.
There's 5 lanes in one place, so we don't need all that pavement, I guess.
I think some of our staff here have experienced the joys of having accidents on that intersection. So, yeah. Any questions on this one? Okay, let's vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Counterminded? Carry. Okay, next we have the Curling Club's lease agreement. Councillor Keating.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Over the last number of years, the Cornerbrook Curling Association, Inc. has leased a space at the Cornerbrook Curling Club from the City of Cornerbrook and has been responsible for regular maintenance at the Cornerbrook Curling Club. The agreement outlining this arrangement expired on September 30th, 2024. As such, a new agreement will need to be entered into. The terms of the new agreement will remain the same as the terms of previous agreement with the Cornerbrook Curling Association, Inc., leasing the Cornerbrook Curling Club from the City of Cornerbrook for the amount of $9,000 plus HST annually for the period of October 2024 to September 2025. Additionally, the Cornerbrook Curling Association will continue to be responsible for the regular maintenance of the Cornerbrook Curling Club. Be it resolved that the City of Cornerbrook lease the space at the Cornerbrook Curling Club to the Cornerbrook Curling Association, Inc. for the period of October 2024 to September 2025 for the amount of $9,000 plus HST annually. I so move.
Thank you. Seconder on that?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Questions on this one? No? Pretty straightforward?
Yep.
Okay, let's vote. All those in favor say aye.
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 Counterminded? Carried. Councilor Griffin, we've got a home-based business discretionary use, 104 Valley Road.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The City of Cornerbrook has received an application to operate a home-based business office for a construction company from the dwelling located at 104 Valley Road, which is located in a residential medium-density zone. It has been conveyed to the city that there will be no visitors to the premises and there will be no outside storage of goods associated with the construction industry. A home-based business office is a discretionary use of the City of Cornerbrook development regulations for this zone. A notice was delivered to the residents in the immediate area of 104 Valley Road indicating the above-mentioned request. As a result of this notice, no written submissions were received. However, one phone call was received, and after explaining the application into detail, the caller was supportive of the proposed development. Be it resolved that the Council of the City of Cornerbrook approve the application to operate a home-based business from the dwelling located at 104 Valley Road in accordance with Regulation 11, discretionary powers of authority. I so move.
Thank you. Seconder? Matt?
Second, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Any questions on this one? Pretty straightforward. I don't think any parking requirements.
Excuse
Yeah.
me, Mr. Mayor, it just might be a correction in our agenda, in our, it says 101 West Valley Road, and when you open it up, it goes to 104 Valley Road.
Yeah.
It's probably just,
I think it's
probably
only,
needs to be cleaned
it
up.
might
Just-
be in the electronic version or something.
Yeah.
There's not, it's,
It's okay on that
On
one?
the- yeah, on the-
Just for clarity,
Yeah.
because somebody might be thinking that it's actually 101 West Valley Road.
yeah, no, it's right on mine. I don't know
Yeah,
if
it's
there's.
right on mine too.
It's on the
Weird.
electronic one.
Yeah, it's got two addresses. Mr.
104.
Yeah, got two addresses.
Oh,
It must have been an old file name that was copied or something
Yeah,
at one
and
point,
then,
yeah.
just to clean it up.
Yep, 104 Valley Road.
And it says in the outline, it says 101 West Valley Road,
In the agenda.
the agenda, yeah.
Okay. Weird. Weird. It's 104 Valley Road for sure. Okay, any other questions on this one? Okay, let's vote. All those in favor, say aye.
aye.
Contraminded? Carried. We have a policy for our wastewater service repair policy. Deputy Mayor Chason, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Plug lateral policy, 060112. Staff are in the process of undertaking a policy review which consists of identifying policies we should implement as well as update during current policies to better reflect current practices and other legislation. One of the policies that has been identified that requires some major revision include the plug lateral policy, which was enacted February 2007 with no amendments or revisions. Therefore, a new policy is being proposed that will replace this policy, the wastewater service repair policy. This policy was drafted by staff, including feedback from the water and wastewater superintendent and a legal review. The revised policy is intended to address ambiguity from previous policy and establish clear guidelines to the process for addressing issues with lateral wastewater lines. Therefore, the new policy will replace the February 12, 2007, and is titled Plug Laterals 060112. Proposed resolution, be it resolved to rescind the plug lateral policy 0601 -12 and replace it with the wastewater service repair policy 060112. I so move.
Thank you. A seconder on that?
I will second, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much. Okay, questions on this one? Any questions? So this, yes, go ahead.
Is this just a matter of cleaning up the policy, or,
Yeah, you'll see there's a little more language, it seems, to describe what we are and aren't responsible for. And I guess, I'm assuming that, Mr. Burden, that you consulted with our lawyer on some of the, what we should describe in detail here.
Yes, that's correct. The old policy was very simple. If it was basically on the homeowner side, they would be responsible. If it was on the city side, we would be responsible. But there's, based on history, we have found stuff on the city side that should never have been in our storm or our sanitary sewer to start with. So just because it made it out past the boundary, we don't believe, and our lawyer agrees, that we should necessarily be responsible. One prime example is when baby wipes go on sale at Costco. There tends to be a spike in lateral plugs around the city, so we don't feel just because they make it as far as the boundary that we should be responsible, the city, to fix that.
Thank you. Yes?
who makes that decision, Mr. Mayor, the city? Or engineers, or like decision that it's plugged on close to the city side, so, but you're still responsible
Yeah,
as
so.
a homeowner?
So when we get the notification of a plug, we take a deposit, it is excavated and checked by the city.
Yep.
And if it is something that is on the resident's side, they would be responsible for it, or if it was something that we deem wasn't. So then, so again, sometimes those things would be in dispute, and in which case it would probably go through a claims process.
And that was the whole purpose of really clarifying the policy, was because there was a lot of ambiguity in the old policy. So we wanted to take that out so that we have we know exactly now what we're responsible for and what the residents are responsible for.
Okay, thank you.
Council?
Mr. Mayor, I'm just reading through this again this evening, and I think it might be helpful just to stipulate what we're talking about here, because when a lateral comes from somebody's property to the main sewer, there's only, we assume it's coming from that household, so they would be responsible for what's in it. And there are a number of items that should not be in it. I mean, so like, I'm just going to read them out here.
Yeah.
Corrosives, explosives, flammable material, for instance, non-biodegradable materials such as plastic, glass, metal, and disinfectant wipes that the director mentioned a moment ago. Large or bulky material that could promote blockage of pipes or damage to pumping or treatment equipment, including solidified grease, large amounts of cooking grease, paper towels, napkins, and other foreign objects, and effluent from garage floor drains, storm sewers, rain gutters, or weeping tiles. So, we know that you're not supposed to put anything down your drain other than water or human waste, if it's a toilet, and toilet paper, and that's all that's supposed to go down through your toilet, your sewer, and so on. So when people put other things in there that's not supposed to be in there, I guess this is the idea that even if it's on the city side, if we find there's, 15 baby wipes blocking the pipe, even if it's on the city side, the city would no longer be responsible for that, the cost of repairing that. So that's what we're saying. I think that's a big change, Mr. Mayor, and I think it's something that we really need to, other than tonight's meeting, promote that on our webpage and Facebook and wherever else we do that, because there's still a lot of people that pour cooking oil down their sink and do stuff in the garage that goes down the floor drain. So I think we need to do a little more, maybe education around these things. That's not supposed to go down your floor drain or your toilet, and otherwise people can find themselves with a fairly expensive bill.
Absolutely. Good idea.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Yes?
One thing we haven't mentioned tonight, roots from trees that plug up our pipes.
Yep.
Who handles that? Because
Well-
if it's a city tree,
Mr. Burton could explain. See, this is a tricky issue.
and the reason I asked that, Mr. Mayor, is because mine's plugged lots with the roots from trees.
You're never getting any claim. Go ahead.
We do a pretty extensive every season. We've identified the areas around the city where roots and laterals are fairly common and cause people a lot of trouble. So we do a pretty aggressive root cutting program at least once a year around the city to try to mitigate any of that damage. If the tree is on, we very typically don't see anybody stuck. We don't really nickel and dime if it's a city tree. If it's a private tree on private land, then obviously, yeah, they're responsible. But if it's a city tree and the root is in on the private land, or it's a question who owns the tree. If it's if we're in the area cutting roots and we see something in someone's lateral, we'll do our best to help them out for sure.
Thank you.
Good. Okay, any other questions on this one? Okay, let's vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Counter-minded? Carried. Councillor Gill is not here this evening. Maybe Deputy Mayor, you could inform us about the cell phone policy as well, if you would.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Lots of changes coming to our policies.
Yep.
At the City of Corner Brook, eligible staff currently receive a city-owned cell phone to enable them to perform their work and work-related duties. After a cost analysis review, it was proposed that offering a cell phone allowance to staff instead of a city-owned device may alleviate the city's costs associated with purchasing devices outright and regular monthly plan fees. Following this review, management has drafted a cell phone policy encompassing the option of either the insurance of a city-owned device or a cell phone allowance to enable staff. The cell phone policy details eligibility criteria, allowance, cost, responsibility, ATIP requirements, and security. The allowance for the first year, 2025, is recommended as follows. Mayor and city manager, $60 per month. Directors and other staff, $50 per month. The allowance will be reviewed on an annual basis. The proposed resolution, be it resolved that the Council for the City of Corner Brook approves the cell phone policy that includes the option of a city-owned cell phone or a cell phone allowance for eligible staff. I so move.
Thank you. Seconder on that?
Second, Mr.
Thank you. Any questions of this?
So, Mr. Mayor, they have the option?
Yes, they do. That's right.
Okay.
Yes.
And am I missing something? Why is the mayor and city manager $10 more than directors and staff?
Yeah, you know, I was wondering that too. What, maybe, Mr. Maestri, could you tell us the rationale there?
Yes, I think, Mr. Mayor, that's basically the amount of time that the mayor and the city manager tend to spend on.
Okay.
Oh,
That's fair.
It's a little bit more, I guess it's, as time passes, we'll assess that.
Yep.
Okay.
To assess whether it's adequate or
Yeah.
what
Well,
else.
I won't be opting for the plan for a while, so wouldn't matter. I
Okay,
guess.
oh, that's good. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Yes.
Can we, I don't know if the director knows it right now or not, but what would it be a cost saving to the city tax?
Yep.
Budget.
Mr. Maestri?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, if it does provide a cash flow benefit to the city. So currently an outright purchase means there's an immediate cash outflow for the purchase of the cell phone versus an allowance. So the one benefit is a cash flow management benefit. The second benefit is from a cost savings perspective. So if we look at the current rates of a cell phone, it's about $1,400. So if you look at that, if we assume that the lifespan of that cell phone is 3 years, so that works out to be just under $40, about $39. Plus the average plan fees is about $30 to $35. So that works out to be about $74 that if you were to work out a comparable. The minimum monthly fee is about $23. So your $39 plus your 23 is about $62. So currently the range is about $62 to $74 if we were to make it as a comparable basis versus an allowance of $50. So we're looking at plus minus $14 saving per month with an overarching caveat that, the current rate of a cell phone is about $1,400 to compare like for like.
Yes.
And Mr. Mayor, I guess as well, when we purchase a phone, we purchase it outright. We don't get a payment plan like most people would be familiar with. So we don't pay it out monthly, included in our plan. So I guess that's the $1,400 cost upfront.
That's right. It's sort of like leasing instead of buying.
Right.
Okay. Any other questions there? Oh, yes, go ahead.
ATIP requirements. It's always a question when we're using our personal devices for work-related emails, texts, whatever. What are the ATIP requirements on owning your own phone versus city device?
And the clerk can correct me, she is an expert on ATIP. We have to deal with too many. But as I understand, it doesn't matter. Anything you're doing for in a city purpose could be ATIP. That's correct, right?
Yes, we have not paid the city business on personal device, we still wait.
So it doesn't matter in that regard. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, let's vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Counterminded? Carried. Now, maybe Counselor Griffin, you could do the next one about the Western Regional Service Board.
7-3? Because the screen just went black. 7-3?
Yes, sorry, yes.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. In accordance with the governance structure of the Western Regional Service Board, the City of Corner Brook appoints 2 members of council to serve on the Western Regional Service Board. Deputy Mayor Chason and Councilor Gill were previously appointed to serve on the board. However, Deputy Mayor Chason has recently resigned from the board, therefore a replacement needs to be appointed. Council was polled to gauge interest in serving on the board and no responses were received. Therefore Mayor Parsons has volunteered to serve on the board. Be it resolved to appoint Mayor Jim Parsons as the City of Corner Brook representative on the Western Regional Service Board. I so move.
And I'm going to, before we go any further, I'm going to declare a conflict, not because it has to do with the Regional Service Board, but because it has to do with specifically an appointment that involves me. Okay? So if there's, and I'll pass the reins over to the deputy here to handle this whole thing.
Okay. Seconder?
Oh, I vote.
I'll second.
Okay, comments?
That's pretty straightforward then.
Well, I'm supposed to leave.
You're supposed to
Yes.
get back in. Yeah.
here.
Oh, practice what you preach.
And sit down, I know.
Madam Chair, my only comment is that the mayor represents the city at on numerous items and speaks for the city. So I do have some concern about speaking for the city and being on the Western Regional Service Board as well. So I do have some concerns about possible conflicts of interest and how they'd be addressed.
I was just wondering where we're so late in our, our term, so to speak. Can we go with just the one or do we have to have 2? Do we know?
I know in the beginning it was 2, but I wasn't sure if it was actually 1 or 2 now for the rest of the year. I honestly thought within this close to the election coming up next year, that it may be just 1. But I wasn't talking to anybody and I don't know.
Because my understanding, that is why the Mayor Parsons has accepted, because we need 2. Yeah.
It's always been 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Madam Chair, I'm sorry.
No, I'm going along with what Councilor Pender is saying.
Yeah, and I guess my thinking on that as well is like, if this were a by-election for a council seat within a year, you would normally reappoint, you wouldn't have a by-election, for instance. So, again, we're not required to have 2. It's the request of us to appoint 2, as far as I understand it, from the Western Service Board. And they actually appoint the member that we nominate. So I don't know if we need 2 for the next however many months are left. So I'm fine with it as it is.
Any more comments?
No.
Call for the question. All those in favor of appointing Mayor Jim Parsons as the City of Corner Brook Council representative on the Western Regional Service Board?
Aye. 2.
Those against?
Nay?
Me too.
So it's defeated.
It's a tie vote.
So it's defeated?
Hmm?
Comes back at the next.
Come back next.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
right, yes, okay.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, you can return.
Yes, I can.
Could I
Thank
just,
goodness.
can I just ask that maybe we ask the Western Service Board if it's required for us to have to do for the next, meeting, please?
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, before you continue, can I add, can I just make a comment on why I resigned, or is it not appropriate right now to do that?
What do you want to comment on?
On why I resigned from the board? It don't matter, I don't care, but,
You can put it on your Facebook page unless there's something like more urgent, like, is there something pressing before council, a reason why? Is there a,
No, I just thought maybe people would want to know why I resigned.
yeah, I would like to know, yeah,
You'd
sure.
like to know?
Yeah.
Okay, sit back. And then probably, I'm gonna give you the Coles version of why I resigned. I guess it's been a bone of contention over the conflict of interest with the local service board and the city. And at our last meeting, myself and Councillor Gill were put in a conflict at the city level on dealing with services that, for outlying communities that involved our fire department. And you can correct me if I'm wrong when I'm finished, Mr. Mayor. So that was brought to the table, and we were put in a conflict at the last meeting, okay? So I also claimed a conflict of interest down at the Western Waste Management or the Regional Service Board because I knew I could not support something that was dealing with our employees within our city. For example, there's lots of things you can vote on for like the garbage or whatever, but when it came to coming to the city looking for our fire department to go to non-incorporated areas, I felt I couldn't sit on that board and do justice to that board and then come to the city and also be claimed in a conflict of interest. Therefore, I made the decision to resign from the Western Regional Service Board and put all my eggs in the basket sitting at this table.
Okay. I don't agree. I think that you've been advised by our lawyer that you are not in a conflict of interest on the Regional Service Board. You are there precisely to represent the interests of the city of Corner Brook on that board. That's the purpose of the Regional Service Board, and that's the reason we get 2 seats as opposed to 1 or none. And so that, I don't know how to make it more clear that if there's something you think is against the interests of the city, including our employees, then you should vote against it at that board. I think that's what the representatives there do. That, I think, is pretty clear, I think. I don't know what other purpose that board serves to do that. And it's written in the act that you're not in a conflict of interest explicitly.
But when we started off with that board, it was the regional Western Waste Management. We dealt totally with waste management when I first went on the board 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Somewhere in between the last 2 years, we changed to the Western Regional Service Board. So that means that we're looking for services from another district to help out with smaller places that don't have some of our services.
Yeah, it's always been incorporated as a regional service board.
But it was dealing totally with waste management in the beginning.
And why it was originally what it is, there is a Regional Service Board Act that governs these types of boards, right? As I indicated in the last meeting, and I think I voted against the conflict here, that doesn't matter. The Regional Service Board Act has its own conflict of interest rules. And like I said, the whole purpose of the board is to get input from the communities that are served in that region. And us being the biggest one, we get 2 seats, and you are not in any conflict as a member, and you are a member because you are a councillor. And so it says that explicitly in the act itself. Yeah, so in terms of, I guess, the confusion, I think, at the council table is understandable, but it shouldn't affect anything at the Regional Service Board. And in terms of like any issue that comes before the Regional Service Board, you can't make a commitment on behalf of the city on that board either. You can vote for certain things, but you can't sign or make an agreement on behalf of the city. So even if you think that it's in the city's interest to support, say, something that's going on there, you can't encumber the city there. The council would have to make that decision itself, right? So I think there is some confusion here on what the Regional Service Board does, for sure.
And maybe it's not clear
Yeah. I think,
at that level, but at the city, sitting here last week, myself, or 2 weeks ago, myself and Councilor Gill were put in a conflict of interest.
yeah, which I think was in
Well, it was
in
the way
error
that,
as well.
the way that the vote was made and it was recorded,
Yeah.
that we were in a conflict, so,
Which didn't make any sense to me, but that's how council
but
voted.
that, yeah, that was the
Right,
vote.
but that doesn't affect anything to do with what you do on the Regional Service Board, right? That's a completely different board. And they have their own rules of conflict of
What do you
interest,
do?
right?
And you have to question sometimes how well you're protected in some things, some places, versus sitting at the council table.
Yeah, the other thing is that this issue came back last time, and there was some question about this. We did get a pretty thorough opinion from our lawyer sent to council on this, which describes the fact that, I guess, anyone on the Regional Service Board is not in a conflict on that board on issues regarding the city of Corner Brook. It's very explicit, very clear, it's black and white. On the city of Corner Brook side, when it comes to issues with the Regional Service Board, it's, the lawyer's opinion was that it shouldn't be a conflict because the whole, again, reason is that you are serving on a Regional Service Board, but to make sure that you're protected is to have a vote. It doesn't, and the thing is not to have a vote to put the person in conflict. It just as well be a vote to put them not in conflict. As long as the vote happens, the person is protected. And I guess that was our lawyer's recommendation. She didn't think we should be considered in conflict, but to make sure that our representatives were safe in discussing any issue there, to not vote them in conflict. That doesn't have anything to do, of course, with the issue that's peripherally, related to the Regional Service Board. So something about, like I said, regional services, those issues happen up, and we're talking about those all the time. And just because you're on the Regional Service Board, I don't think you should be excluded from talking about those things. Yeah, I'm really puzzled by our,
And 99% of it doesn't deal totally with the city, it deals
Right.
with everybody, but there's
Yeah.
always that 1% that you're scratching your head saying, if I'm feeling I'm in a conflict there, I'm putting a conflict here, like you're
yeah, but as
between
it
a
is,
rock and a hard place.
and
So-
that's fine, and again, if you feel that you're not comfortable on the board, that's your prerogative, absolutely, to, resign. I think that, again, related to generally whether or not we need to have representation on that board, I think that's, again, the reason we have 2 seats is to have our voice heard on that board, so. Again, I don't know sometimes, but, yeah, yes.
I think we're saying that our council members are in a conflict to protect. I think that's fair, right? That's why we do it. But my understanding is that if we say you're not, and we vote to say you're not, then
They're protected. as
you're
well.
protected.
Yes.
But that's the problem I have with it. By declaring you in a conflict, that kind of puts a muzzle on you.
Yeah.
You can't really say anything that, you can't even voice an opinion. You can't even sit there. You gotta move away. But if we declare that you're not, then, you put it out there, we said you're not. So if, you're protected. That's why I think we should be going the other way and saying, if we feel that our council member is not in a conflict, more so than saying that they are.
Yep.
Thank you.
Anyway, the last item we have here is, we have the election of the deputy, which we have to do each year. So in accordance with Section 28, the City of Corner Brook Act, council is required to conduct an annual election for the position of deputy mayor. As presiding officer of council, the mayor conducts the nomination in accordance with the process outlined below. So I will call for a nomination for deputy mayor. Yes.
I'd like to nominate Linda Chason as our deputy mayor.
Okay, thank you. I'll call for nominations once again. Nominations for deputy mayor. And one more time, I'll call for nominations of deputy mayor. Okay, do you accept the nomination?
I do.
Well, congratulations. You're declared by acclamation deputy mayor.
Yay.
Yay. Okay. With that drama, who knew how that vote was going to go? I'll declare the meeting adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr.